Red Cross, Chilton, St. John's, Alison, Florence, you name it. Do these institutes matter when you're applying to go to the United Kingdom as a nurse aide? Do I really have to do them? Today, let me just read out some of the topics that some of the questions that I'm gonna answer, because it's one of the common questions that is asked in our social groups. And I'm gonna read out exactly what I'm gonna answer, and then we can start going through one by one. I do have my phone here. This is where my notes are. I really wanted to make sure that I write some notes so that I can give you some answers, okay? So the first thing that I need you to know is that we're gonna look at why is it people asking this question a lot, and then what are the UK laws really in terms of new care workers? What does the UK say? Do employers in the United Kingdom recognize these institutes, Red Cross, Alison, whatever institute that you actually do? Does UK actually matter about it? So I'm going to cover that. What is the I'm going to talk about what is care certificate, okay, and mandatory training, and is there a difference anyway with these, okay? And then what are the odds of getting hired with a care certificate only, okay? And where can you learn care certificate? How can you protect yourself from the unfortunate? It's not just about going to the United Kingdom. I'm going to talk about the work as a nurse aide. Can I learn from other institutes? Does it matter? And then I've written a point whereby I said evaluate yourself, and I'm going to give you my unique tag at the end, and I'm going to tell you how you can get email updates from me. Hello and welcome. My name is Kuda. I'm on a journey. My journey is simple. I'm just a few steps ahead of other people that have gone to the United Kingdom through the nurse aide program, and what I'm just doing is I'm sharing what I know, okay? With that said, I want to make sure that I give you a very good disclaimer. The information that I'm sharing in this video, or any of my videos for that matter, are just done for education purposes. I don't claim to know everything, but I'm just a few steps ahead of others, and what I'm saying is that what I know, I share. With that said, I want you to make sure that any information used in this video, if it causes any damage or loss indirectly or directly, I'm not accountable for that. Okay, make sure that you ask for professional advice in anything that you're doing. So with that out of the way, let us actually get started. Let me start off by showing you a little picture. You've seen that picture, right? I want you to tell me what is it that you're seeing on the screen right now. So for most people, I'll tell you that they say that that's a robot. So if you say that's a robot, that's wrong. Why do you say a robot when it's called a traffic light? So if you're in Zimbabwe, I'll tell you that you can point out to someone giving some directions and say, you see that first robot, you turn left and then go to the right. You see the second robot, you turn right. That's how we give directions to people in Zimbabwe. But if you get to the United Kingdom, you're going to realize if you use the term robot, they're going to start thinking about this. That's what they know as a robot. And what do I mean by this lesson? The first thing that I want you to understand is that when you're applying for a job, kind of gather information of what the people understand. Okay? I'm going to come back to that because it's going to make a lot of sense. Now, let's look at why is it a lot of people are talking about is nurse aide, Alison important and things like that. So you may hear a friend who says, who has gotten to the United Kingdom with the nurse aide program, and they say, no, training does not really matter, they will train you when you get here. That is one of the statements that they said, that they always say. And then also you're going to get some instances of someone who made it to the United Kingdom who just did Alison, and then they went to the United Kingdom and they never did Red Cross and St. John's or any other. So now you are back in Zimbabwe and you want to do the same process, and you're asking yourself, should I do Alison only because so and so did that? Because so and so said I should not do Red Cross, or I should not do this. Okay, this is why the point that I'm talking about is why is it a lot of people are talking about it, and you may hear different versions from people, and that's why a lot of people are talking about it. And it's true. There are some people who just did Alison and went to the United Kingdom, and there are some people who did Red Cross, St. John's and Chilton and also went to the United Kingdom. So what is the truth really? When these people are confusing us, you're going to get the answers today. So that's exactly why people are talking about that. And now, what does the UK laws say about new care workers? Okay, So one of the things that I want you to do right now is I want you to go to this website, which is called cqc.org.uk. So I'm going to put the link on the screen, cqc.org.uk. Now, this company and the company that I'm going to share again, Skills for Care, I'm going to add the link as well on the screen right now. Go and go to those websites. Now, if you look at these organizations, these are the organizations that governs employers, or that governs company owners that runs care companies. Okay, so let's say for instance, Kuda is at work and he's doing care work and he makes a mistake. The company that does and do the investigations of the company is CQC, is one of them. Okay, so let us look at what CQC says about a care worker, a new care worker. If you go to that website and type in care worker, you're going to learn that a new care worker is supposed to do what is known as a care certificate. Okay, as a care certificate, it has got new standards, 15 standards that are there that you have to learn. You're going to read about them and things like that. So it's a mandate for each and every learner to go through the care standard certificate. I'm going to explain what a care standard certificate is all about. Now, the other question that is there is that, do employers in the United Kingdom recognize the Nurse Aide, Red Cross, Alison, Chilton, or any other training for that matter? So here's the thing. One thing that you need to understand is that, think of an employer as someone who is looking for someone to work for them. They have a lot of workload. They are looking for someone who is motivated. They're probably looking for someone who has a little bit of experience and things like that. So you're applying for a job. Imagine walking into my office and then you tell me that, hey, Kuda, I'm looking for a job. I want to do Nurse Aide. You said you're going to train me. My sister said this kind of training, it doesn't matter. I don't have any sort of experience, and I'm looking for a job. Can you employ me? And then you are there. You're trying to find your way in. Okay. And then there is 50 people. There's 10 people. Okay, that are there that are looking for that same kind of job, and they said, you know what? I'm looking for a job as a care worker. I know I don't have any qualifications that matches what you need, but what I've been doing in Zimbabwe, I did Red Cross, I did St. John's, I did Chilton in South Africa, I did Alison, I did this and this. Look at my CV. So who do you think I'm going to hire? Okay, I'm looking at a CV of someone who doesn't have experience at all. I'm looking at someone who is trying to work towards what I need. I'm the boss, I'm the employer. Who do you think I'm gonna employ? The first person or the second person? You guessed it, the second person. Okay, so the important question here that we are talking about is, does the employers recognize the Red Cross and things like that? They don't recognize it, but they need it for your advantage. Okay, they don't recognize it, but they need it for your advantage, because now what you're going to come across is that, go to the CQC website, you're going to realize that they need you to go through the care certificate training, but you're doing the Chilton, Red Cross, St. John's and Alison and whatever kind of training that you're doing in order to be considered to be hired in the job. Once you get hired, they start training you that, here we don't call this a robot, we call it a traffic light. Is that making sense? So what I'm trying to say is that, learn with the institute that you can, and the employers in the United Kingdom, definitely they may consider you actually if you have a little bit of experience. Now, what is a care certificate and the mandatory training all about? Now, if you go to the CQC website that I've actually referred you, and here for skills for care, you're going to learn, okay, if you do your research properly on that website, you're going to learn that each and every new care worker, the employer should train the new care worker according to the standards of United Kingdom. Now, the standards of United Kingdom states that every new care worker should go through this care certificate and the mandatory training. Is that making sense? Now, the mandatory training has got 3 parts. The care certificate or a new worker has got 3 parts that they need to go through. In fact, there are 4 parts that they need to go through. You need to understand that. Now, the first part is that, number 1, you have to go through the care certificate training. Okay. not from Alison, not from Florence. If you have done that from Florence, you need to do one with the one that your employer says do this, because it's recognized by the United Kingdom. Okay, I want to make sure that you follow me, guys. The second thing that you're gonna do is that you're gonna do what is known as mandatory training. There's a little bit of a difference right there. And you're gonna do what is known as in-person training. Now, in-person training is whereby you go through the care certificate, and then you go through the mandatory training, and then you go through the in-person training. Now, the in-person training, according to the laws of United Kingdom, they say that a new care worker should go through the care training, mandatory training, and do a physical training. Okay, and in that physical training, you are also issued with a certificate. One of the trainings there is called first aid training. Now, on the first aid training, this is where they have the artificial human bodies, and they train you how to do what do you call first aid, okay, how to do first aid, and things like resuscitation and things like that. So they teach you like that, and you have to be physically in the class to be issued and to start working as a care worker. Now, when these people get to United Kingdom, when you have done your Red Cross, Nurse Aid, Chilton, whatever, when you get to the United Kingdom, you go through that kind of a training again. Okay, so that's basically, in short, what a care certificate is all about in mandatory training. Now, what is the difference, really? There's care certificate on Alison, there's care certificate on Florence, there's care certificate on this website, there's care certificate on this website. What is the right one, and what is the difference between those two? So the information that I'm actually telling you, my wife is the one who is a care worker. Okay, so I came here with a dependent visa. Now, I always speak to my wife. I wish I could bring her to the camera, but she doesn't like to be in front of you guys, because she just loves her space. So I kind of ask her questions like, how is work? How did you go today? What do you think of a person who says they don't need training in Zimbabwe, they just want to get to the United Kingdom? What do you think? Now, the difference is that when I asked her, the difference is that because my wife also did the practical lessons in Zimbabwe, and then she did the attachment, and then she also did the care certificate, and then she did mandatory training, and then she also did the practicals, okay, when she got here to the United Kingdom. Now, I asked her, what is the difference there? And then now she said, when you are learning on Alison or any other institute, you're going to learn the general things, okay? But when you learn the care certificate for the United Kingdom laws, you're going to learn something that is very specific. I asked her, why do you say that? Can you give me an example? And then she went on to say, if you do the care standard certificate, you're going to learn how to pack food in the fridge, okay? Which is what you don't learn on other institutes. Okay, if you're going to do the care standard certificate, there are some pieces of information that you really get that are of the United Kingdom law. So that's basically the difference. The difference is that the other trainings are more on the general side, and then the care certificate and mandatory training is specific for the United Kingdom laws. Okay, so now what are the odds of getting hired with the care certificate only? Let's say you've done the care certificate only, and then you're looking for a job. Okay, so you're saying, yes, the employers, they really love to work with someone who understands what they need. They need someone who understands that is a traffic light, not a robot. So if I just do the care certificate and then I don't do the Red Cross and things like that, will I get hired? So the answer to that is that yes, you can get hired. Okay, I've answered that, but I'm gonna answer that again. Yes, you can get hired if you do only the care certificate according to the laws of the United Kingdom, because when your employer is looking at your CV, they are looking if you qualify. And if you have that kind of care certificate on your CV or anyhow, you are going to realize that they can hire you. Okay, but the chances of getting hired as such a person, you can only get hired when you get to the United Kingdom. Okay, it's easy to get hired when you're actually in the United Kingdom. One of these days, I went on this website. I was actually looking for my job in my technical field, and then one company actually approached me to say, "Do you love to do care work? We can actually train you and start working with you." Okay, so it was easy for them to approach me. But when you are in Zimbabwe, when you only have done the care certificate, like I explained earlier on, your odds of getting hired are so slim, because your competition, the other people that are also applying for the same sport, they have done Red Cross, they've done St. John's, they've done Chilton, they've done Alison, they've done all these kind of trainings. Okay, so on their CV, they have like the care certificate, they have Alison, they have Chilton, they have like 5 learning institutes that they've went through, and then you want to try your odds with just one. So in other words, yes, the employer can consider you, but consider what your competition is doing. Yeah. Okay. And where can you learn about care certificate? Okay. What you need to do is that you need to find out. About the care certificate online, because it's done online. But what I did when I go to the United Kingdom, I went on to find out a company that is recommended, and I'm actually working with it. You can actually so now the way I'm working with it, I say to them, I'm going to help you distribute your training, your e-learning courses. And then, so what I did, I went to buy their licenses in bulk. Okay, I went to buy their licenses in bulk, and I'm just redistributing to anyone who wants to follow what I teach. But anyway, you can go on any, just type in on Google, to type in care certificate learning from UK website or United Kingdom and things like that. When you go to such website, you're going to realize that they're going to have a mention of CQC, like our training is accredited with CQC or skills for care. Okay, when you see something like that, just know that you are doing something that your employer is likely to take you in when you start working. But if you want something that I've actually verified, I've spoken to the guys hours and hours and hours, I've spoken to the team. I've told them my story, and I can actually connect you to them. And yeah, that's what I can actually say. You can find to learn on the website. Now, the other point that I want to talk about is protect yourself from the unfortunate. Okay, so now a very good example of some of the incidents that I hear, or some of the incidents that I've learned through research and things like that. So I'll give you a scenario. Let's say you and me, we are working at a company. Okay, we are working at a company that is doing care, and we're going on well. Our shifts are going on well. We have been paid and things like that. So now care workers, they work in numbers. You need to understand that. Now, when care workers work in numbers, so let's say your company, I'm just saying that your company may have 20 care workers and you may never meet each other. Okay, so let's say Kuda, he has actually done training. He has never done training actually. Okay, he just went into the UK, and then he found his way into the United Kingdom, and then he started working in terms of the care work, and then Kuda makes a very slight mistake. But this slight mistake caused what is known as an incident. Okay, that's the language that they use. That an incident happened, and when an incident happened, it has caused something really, really bad. Okay, so let me give you a very good example. Let's say I'm told to give a patient their medication at 12 p.m. Okay, or at 12 noon, and then Kuda delays, or he actually with the patient, and then he forgets to give the patient medication. Okay, and something happens with the patient, and then now the investigation comes. The investigation is going to come and investigate Kuda to say, okay, who was this carer who was working here? Okay, this is Kuda, right? Oh, they're going to say, okay, Kuda, let us see your qualifications. You say you are a carer. Let us see your qualifications. Let's look who you are. They investigate me. When they investigate me, they're going to like, okay, how did this company employ this kind of Kuda with such qualifications? Okay? And then what they're going to do is that, they're now going to start and investigate my work colleagues. Say, okay, who works with Kuda, who also is part of this company? We want to look at their papers if they are in good standards. Okay, so now the mistake was done by Kuda, okay, but the investigation is going to each and every one of the employees in the company. Okay, now when the investigation goes to one of the employees into the company, so when they do the investigations, they're going to say, okay, let us investigate Peter. Let us look at the qualifications for Peter, and they're going to say, oh, Peter has done the care certificate. Wow, amazing. Oh, Peter has done the mandatory training. Oh, Peter has done the in-person training. Oh, Peter was actually working in Zimbabwe as a carer. This is his attachment. Oh, Peter has also done Red Cross. Wow, this is amazing. oh, Peter, you can continue with your work. We've seen your CV. Then you're good. You can continue with the work. Okay, they're going to go to the next person. Again, they're going to, oh, this person is just like Kuda. How did these people get to work for this company? Okay, how did that happen? Okay, so now the investigation now, let me just turn on my phone. The investigation now goes to the employer, to the company. Okay, how did you start working with these people? Don't you know what the laws say? So when I'm talking about protect yourself from the unfortunate, that's exactly what I'm talking about. One of the things that you will learn when you start working as a carer, or ask any carer in the United Kingdom the nature of the work that they do. One of the things that they are told to do is to write notes. Okay, to write notes about how the patient is doing, or the individual is doing. Okay, they call them individuals. Okay, so they write notes to say, okay, I went to the individual, I saw him or I saw her, she was looking well and she had a little bit of cough. At this time she started to perform like this. Those are kind of notes that you should write, okay? And then sometimes the investigation can come like this. Can we please see your notes for the past 2 months? Okay? And you haven't been writing your notes because you're busy. Okay? And when they need those notes, they really need those notes. So when the unfortunate happens, you need to make sure that you're trained to protect yourself. Now, and then still on that, my other point is that getting to the United Kingdom is not just about getting to the United Kingdom, it's about understanding what a care worker does and what a care worker is and what is their role in their job. Okay, one thing that you need to understand is that it's not about just getting into the United Kingdom. This is why we hear a lot of stories of people who get to the United Kingdom as care workers, and then when they see the nature of the job, they go like, this is not what I signed up for. Okay, because it involves working with people, it involves taking care of people, it involves their personal care and things like that. So some of you guys will say and things like that. But if you're that kind of a person, then it really means you don't like care work and yeah. So that's basically what I mean. Now, can I learn from these institutes? Does it matter? Okay, so if you're still on that point of debating, should I learn? Should I not? Should I learn? Should I not? Here's what I think. In my opinion, I would say learn, okay, from any institute that you can actually get your hands on. Do the practicals, do the learning. Number one, remember you're protecting yourself in case of the unfortunate. Number two, some of the people that are talking about that the local training, the Red Cross doesn't matter, Chilton doesn't matter, and things like that. These people have got better connections they've got better support, if I can say. They have better support system in terms of looking for employment. Probably they have a relative in the United Kingdom and things like that. So if you follow their advice, honestly speaking, you're not doing yourself justice. Okay, let us put that aside in terms of saying that someone has got a better support system. What if you don't have a better support system? You don't know anyone, you're just doing this on your own. Let's just put that aside. Just do the right thing. If you do the right thing, I've been sending out a list of employers. I mean, an employer as well can actually look at your CV and go like, wow. The reason why I'm actually saying this is because I've assisted a lot of people actually who had no any sort of connection, but they did the right thing and then they did the applications diligently, and then all of a sudden a surprise happens, a miracle happens, an employer considered their job application. So I'm seeing that happening in my day-to-day life, okay, because of the social groups that we have. I talk to a lot of people privately, and I see that happening. Okay, so you need to make sure that you do the local training, the attachment as much as you can. Please don't skip that. Okay, please don't skip that. Now I'm going to give you my unique tech. I'm going to tell you about evaluate yourself. Before I give you my unique take, when I'm talking about evaluating yourself, I'm working with a lot of people on day-to-day basis, and some people, they don't have confidence in themselves. They know it that, wow. A very good example, we teach English lessons. Okay, we teach English lessons in Zimbabwe, in Bulawayo, and in Cape Town. Okay, we have got offline classes, face-to-face classes, and online classes happening. So one of the things when I'm working with people, when I'm talking to people for the first time, you can see that this person can learn online and understand IELTS on their own, okay, and still pass. And then you get to some instances whereby you see that this person needs a tutor. They really want someone to sit in front of them and teach them. Okay, so on that matter, I'm talking about evaluate yourself. If you're that kind of a person who knows that you need a personal touch, personal help, go ahead and learn from Red Cross, St. John's, Chilton, Alison, and things like that. Okay? Because again, it's not about just getting to the United Kingdom, it's about all the things that I've actually mentioned. Now, here's my unique take. What would I do, okay, if I were you? I'll give you a very good example. In my case, when I got married to my wife, one of the things that she spoke about was being a nurse. Okay, but things didn't turn out in our way because by that time we were still dating. She spoke about it and like, baby, don't worry, we're gonna do it. And then our first child came through. She's busy with the child, and then in between she was talking about that, she was talking about that, and things like that. So when a chance came through for us to start doing the process, because for us it took us about almost 12 months in preparation. Okay, so my wife went to do the local training. Okay, she also went to do the attachment, and then she also did the care certificate. She also did the mandatory training, and then all that was attached on your CV. So when you manage to get the employer would always call us over and over again. The reason why I like you guys is because your wife did the training in Zimbabwe. She's got a bit of knowledge in terms of what we want here to do, and please, how far are you guys? And you need to push, and so that you can come through and things like that. So basically, that's my unique take. My unique take is that if you want to make this work, okay, if you want to make this work, number one, look at what the UK laws say. Okay, look at what the governing institutes say, like CQC and Salesforce and Skills for Care. I'm going to add the websites again. Look at what they say about care work. Okay, look at what they say about care work and follow that. According to their website, they say no worker or no care worker should be allowed to start working if they don't have if they don't go through the care training. So that's basically what I can say. Guys, I have covered quite a lot of things, and what I've just started to do is that I've done another set of video, an in-depth video with other people, and what I'm doing is that I'm sending out emails of the whole UK entire process so that you can learn what it takes to get to the United Kingdom. So what I've done with my previous videos is that I've actually spread my videos to send you one video each 2 days. Okay, after every 2 days I send you one video, every 2 days one video, over 30 days. Okay, so what it simply means, if you want to understand the whole process of getting to the United Kingdom, subscribe to my emails. I'm gonna add a link below this video, and when you add a link to this video, it will take you to a page, and that page, all you have to do is, don't matter what it says, all you have to do is enter your email address and follow the instructions, and you're going to see that most of my emails will be coming through. They are drip fed into your email inbox. Okay, just follow through, and then you can get updates about the other video that I've done, how to plan to go to the United Kingdom, if you're a single parent, if you're a single mother, as a couple, how to write your emails properly, how to look for sponsors. I've done any kind of topic that you can actually answer. So in closing, guys, I would suggest that if you have a chance in Zimbabwe, do the attachment, do the Red Cross, do the Chilton, do the Alison, do the St. John's. These institutes, they're doing a lot of great work in terms of preparing you for the work that you're supposed to come and do here. One thing that I'm going to tell you is that the laws in the United Kingdom are very, very, very strict. I'm going to tell you that they are very, very, very strict. So I hope I've answered everything that you may need to know. I know my video is long, but I believe that the information that I've shared with you guys is worth it. In closing, there is a statement that is called paint a picture. Okay. When we were preparing to get to the United Kingdom, there was a guy who went on the social media, and when he went on the social media, he shared a video. The video was like this. The video went viral. So he took his phone. He was like, guys, I'm suffering in the United Kingdom. Look at where I'm sleeping, and I wish I had not sold my house. I could have bought a stand and do this. My life is not okay. I'm eating from the bin. That was the kind of video that was actually shared. For a moment, I had a sleepless night. I told my wife that, you know what, sweetheart, we're going to stop going to the United Kingdom. Look at how people are surviving. Okay? So, what it simply means is that I didn't have a sleepless night. I did have a sleepless night. I tried to pause the process because a picture was painted in my mind that if I get to the United Kingdom, probably I'm going to start eating from the bin. If I get to the United Kingdom, something like this is going to happen, something like this is going to happen. So there's a lot of negativity that you're going to come across in terms of social networks and things like that, especially from the people that we love. When we ask for advice, they might give us a bad answer and things like that. So I hope you're not one of the people who is affected by the negative comments that goes on social media and try and imagine your life in the United Kingdom. One thing that I tell you is that if you understand the process, if you are ready for the process, you learn what it takes to be in the process, you learn what it takes to become a nest aide, you understand the nature of what is called being a nest aide means. It simply means that you are ready for anything that comes your way, and the truth of the matter is that it's not always the case of some of the issues that you hear. It's probably people that didn't follow proper guidance in terms of what they really wanted to do. They were not so sure. They just wanted to go to the United Kingdom because others are going. Do this with passion. Do this with care. Thank you so much, guys. I love you, and subscribe to my channel. It's a bye for now.